You are listening to The Art of Sales. Everyone sells every day, and this is your source for conversational, real-world sales and prospecting methods that you are comfortable using and that get results. You'll help people buy instead of pushing them into being sold. Here's your host, Art Subcheck.
Do you know one of the biggest fears that salespeople have? Something that causes many of them to not reach their full potential, that causes them to not make the amount of money that they're capable of. Well, it's the fear of no. And I'm going to ask you in this very brief tip today to revert back to your childhood and act like a kid as it relates to no's. Quick story here for you. So I'm in the grocery store checkout line, and I'm watching as this little boy walked over to his mom, who's in the checkout line, and he's got this package of sugar, basically, snack cakes, and he just held it up in her face, and she said, "You don't need that." And she barely glanced up from the Cosmo that she was leafing through, and he said, "I want it though." "No," Mom said. The kid threw it in the grocery basket with all the other items. And then Mom turned the page and then began unloading her items onto the conveyor belt there, including the snack cakes. If you have or had kids or hang out with people who have them or can remember when you were one yourself, you've experienced how expertly kids handle no's. Think about it. Kids react to no's as if they're hearing impaired. They ignore the no's. They feel as if their parents don't really mean it. They treat no's as a mild inconvenience, as just a press of the pause button before they get what they want. And they know they might have to ask multiple times. And they know more often than not that parents will cave in. And if they don't get what they want now, they come back later and ask again. And they'll ask in different ways after a no. And instead of feeling down or rejected, the no just tells them that they've got to ask again for what they want. So fast forward. So why then, when we become adults, do we look at no as rejection? Why do we look at no like we're touching a hot flame and we get burned and scarred, and then we avoid the source, right? The source being asking. I had the opportunity to attend a fundraising dinner as part of a celebrity golf tournament for Arizona youth baseball. And during the dinner, kids were working the crowd selling raffle tickets. And I had already purchased my tickets earlier at the door, and this young girl, probably fourth grade, approached our table and very confidently asked me, "Would you like to buy some raffle tickets?" And I smiled and said, "Oh, thanks, but I already have some. I already bought some." And then without missing a beat, she smiled back and replied, "Oh, that's okay." And I wasn't sure what to say next, so I just forced a smile, and I said, "Okay." And without hesitation, she said, "Yeah, that's okay. You just haven't gotten one from me yet. So just get another one from me." So now I owned another one. What else could I do, right? Very simple, yet powerful tip in this episode. And that is, think about any situation where a kid gets a no and react in the same way. Model their technique for responding. And actually, better yet, why don't you make it a field trip? Go shadow a kid around for a while and watch how they deal with no's and how often they ask for things. And be prepared for them to ask you for something, and you're probably going to give it to them, right? So there's your action step for this episode, and that is just go out there and ask and act like a kid as it relates to how you respond and how you feel when you hear the no. Okay, you know what time it is.
Your attitude will be iron every way, you'll never feel what they say. It's the art of the sales quote of the day.
That's right. It's time for the quote of the day. And today's quote is from the Go for No people. That's Andrea Waltz and Richard Fitton, who wrote the book Go for No. Fabulous book, by the way. I recommend that every salesperson reads it. And their quote is, "You can achieve virtually everything you want if you're willing to hear no often enough." You can achieve virtually everything you want if you're willing to hear no often enough. And by the way, I had Andrea on this show, episode number 17. So go check that one out. All right. So, hey, if you do not yet have my book, my free book, How to Place the Successful Sales and Prospecting Call, I want to mail that to you. It's an actual physical book. All we ask is that you help with the nominal shipping, and you can get that at freesalesbook.com. freesalesbook.com. That offer is good for U.S. addresses. International friends, we do have an offer for you there as well. Thank you so much for investing your valuable time with me here today. Until next time, go out and make it your best sales day ever. I'm Art Sobczak.